In this video, I'll be teaching you something called the Remittance Advice. Now, this is basically very similar to a bank recon, but you have to understand what is a Remittance Advice. So let's say you're a business and you buy on credit from suppliers. So what I mean is that let's say you're buying supplies for like 100 Rand. You don't pay 100 Rand straight away, you buy on credit. So at the end of the month, the supplier will give you a statement and it'll tell you how much you owe. The problem is this: sometimes the balance on the statement from the supplier will not be the balance on your ledger. So basically, you know, as a person, you got a ledger, right? You owe money to that supplier. So let's say you got 150 Rand. If that supplier comes with a statement and he says you owe 190 Rand, that is wrong, right? How can that be? Both of those must be exactly the same in order to be correct. So when both of those are wrong, you basically bring the remittance advice. So you're basically correcting their statement, okay? So our remittance advice is like basically putting their statement into this, okay? And I'll explain further. But the first thing you need to do is bring down the balance for the statement. So if you look over here, let's see. The balance per statement amounts to this. So because we're pretending this is their statement, we're bringing down the balance. So we bring down the balance. So balance, now to word it, you can say anything, but balance per statement. So you can say that. So balance per statement is, let's see, 12,122.65. Now, you don't need to have a debit and a credit. If you want, you can, but I advise not to. You just put a plus or minus. The next thing you need to know is look at A. Goods sent by Gauteng Supplies. Now, Gauteng Supplies is the supplier. So this person is the person we were buying on credit from. We are Natal traders, okay? So goods sent by Gauteng traders had not arrived by 31st May amounting to 670.35 appeared on the statement. So basically this is what happened, right? You ordered goods, the goods never arrived, but they charged you for the goods. That is wrong, because you have to only get charged for the goods when you get it. So if you never receive a good, if you buy from me something, I can't record you owe me that money if you never get that good. So similarly over here, the supplier, although they sent the good, we never received the good, so why are they charging us for it? Don't charge me for it, man. What is wrong with you? So we say this: goods not, so goods not received, and we say minus over here, minus the amount 670.35. so minus, we show it in brackets. So 670.35. Now, why do we show it in brackets? Because this is actually their statement. We're correcting their statement. So we need to minus the amount we owe. The next one, the balance per Gauteng Supplies account on the creditors ledger for 30th April amounts to 6,110.80. So that's the amount we owe them at the beginning of the year. This was paid on 20 May. So we paid that amount we owe. We paid that. But then it never appeared on their statement. So this is the statement. Correct the statement. So let's see what we'll say. So we'll say payment not reflected, right? It's a payment that we made, but it never got reflected on the statement. So payment not reflected. And then obviously we'll minus it, because a payment we need to minus. So put it in brackets, 6,110.18. Okay, so that's how we do it. The next one, C. Debit note sent by Natal traders on 31st May amounting to 90.75 was recorded in the creditor's ledger but not on the statement. So again, I don't know why they're doing this. They're not recording on the statement. Why? Now, wherever you see debit note, credit note, it's a return, right? So if they're saying, as soon as they mention debit note or credit note, just think of a return. So they never recorded return, right? So you had a good and you basically returned it, right? But they on this statement never put the return. Like why? Like we owe you less now. So return not recorded. Return not recorded. Remember, these stories are you can say anything long as it makes sense. So return not recorded, it's a minus. So minus. Now you can put minus or brackets, but Excel is converting it to minus. Well, it doesn't matter, like minus or brackets. 90.75, right? Yes, there we go, 90.75. 90.75. The next one, D. Following a phone call to Coaching Supplies, it was discovered that the invoice amounting to 1,255.60 per the statement should have been entered in KwaZulu-Natal statement. Just kill the supplier now at this point. I don't know why are we still over here. Just kill him. Why? Because we are Natal traders. Okay, we are Natal traders. But they supposed to record for KwaZulu-Natal's trader statement. So you see what they did? What they did is this. KwaZulu-Natal trader statement is different from we. We Natal traders. So we different people. So what they did is when KwaZulu-Natal traders bought from them, they put that amount on our statement like we bought from them. Like, why did we do this? Yes, our names are the same, but do not get confused, man. Come on. So because they wrongly put on their statement we owe this money, we need to take it out as soon as possible because we don't owe that money. So wrong. So you can see wrong. Let's see, wrong. Wrong. I mean what? Wrong payment. Wrong. Oh yeah, wait. Wrong transaction recorded. So wrong transaction recorded, wrong supplier, mix up whatever, wrong transaction recorded. So it's a minus, let's see. That'll be minus 1,255.60. Again, I don't know why we're still on here. This person, the supplier, doesn't deserve to be in the business. Okay, so E. Credit note amounting to 102.40 and invoice 47.5, 475 amounting to 456.60 both appear on the incorrect side of the statement. Okay, so now you have to basically picture the statement, right? Now let's picture the credit note. A credit note on the statement, right? Where will it be? I want you to think of this very, very carefully. The credit note. Right, so we're looking at a credit note. Now there's a trick here. If they say a credit note, on the statement, a credit note is supposed to be on the credit side. So just remember that, right? Because think about it, credit note, debit note is whatever, it's a return, it's a return. So if it's returning things on the statement, it'll be credit, right? Because when the statement is like an asset, like, so it's minus at the credit. So obviously it's going to go down. So that's correct. But the problem is they never do that. They do the opposite, debited the amount. So because they debited the amount, first of all, we have to cancel it. Okay? So by cancelling it means we put the amount on the credit side. But we also have to record a transaction. So you have to, okay, so I want you to think about this, right? And I want to let you understand. If I put 100 Rand by mistake, okay, so let's say I supposed to record 100 Rand as a discount, but I mistakenly put it on this debit side. So let's say this is debit, this is credit. See, so I want you to understand this very carefully. So if I put it on the debit side, obviously it's a mistake, right? I was supposed to put the return over here. So I cancel it, right? So I put 100. But also, this just means 0. But at the end of the day, I need to record the transaction of the discount, okay? So if I make this 200, that makes sense, right? Because when this cancels out, I still need to record the transaction which I'm supposed to make. So I'll put 100 over here. You see? So this and this cancel and we're left with 100. Therefore, you can just put 200 over here and then leave out this 100 here. Okay? So what I need to do in this transaction is simple. Okay. So the way I need to do this is do this. So you can say correct, incorrect, debit. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, it's credit amount. So 102.40. But here's the thing, right? So firstly it's minus 102.40 could be crediting. So in a statement the credit is minus, but also that cancels it out, the mistake, but we need to record it. So we'll say minus 102.40 times 2, that is 204.8. So the final answer will be minus 204.8. And I told you, first you need to cancel, but then also you need to record. That is why this is double, because this is double because you're cancelling the other thing and you're recording the transaction. And also we need to think about this invoice. So this appeared on the incorrect side. So what's the incorrect side? Firstly, what's the correct side of an invoice? Invoice will be on debit side because that's plus, because then you owe more money. So you recorded it there. But now that's wrong. So if it's wrong, so it's supposed to be on the debit side. So if it's recorded on the incorrect side, that means he recorded on the credit side. So to cancel it on the debit side, we need to do twice that amount. So twice 456.80, that's 913.6. So 913.6. Yeah, so that's the final answer. And this will be correct, incorrect, credit. So correct, incorrect, credit. So I think you can see this pattern of how this remittance advice is going. And the last one, the credit column in the accounting supplies account in the creditors ledger for me has been overcast. So on the creditors ledger, that is your side. So we need to do something here. Nah, that's a trick question. Because if it's on the creditors ledger mistake, that is your problem. Your problem. Over here, we're only putting problems that the supplier did, because we're acting that this is their statement. So if the creditors ledger, which is our problem, we leave it as our problem. We'll correct it. So we don't need to put it over here, because the supplier, it got nothing to do with the supplier. So that's a trick question. So now all we need to do is put the correct balance. So this is important. We say balance, balance as per EFT. Always don't forget EFT, because basically you're saying, okay, what you gave me that I owe you is wrong, so I'm going to pay you this amount here because it's correct. So balance as per EFT means the correct amount which I need to pay you, which I'm going to do via EFT or whatever. So balance as per EFT. So this is where now you do some maths. So I'm going to do some maths over here. So basically you add all this up. So that minus that, and you carry on. I'm just going to do a shortcut over here. Okay, there we go. So the final answer is that. So balance as per EFT. Now this is the correct thing, not this one over here. They say that I owe them. So at first they made a mistake. They said you owe 12,122. But now with further inspection, you basically saw that you only owe them 4,703. So you see how a big mistake was created and made. So this is the remittance advice and how you do it. Remember, we pretending that this is their statement. So anything that relates to them, and I emphasize relates to them, only them, gets put over here. Okay? Any incorrect debits or credit, remember the double principle, how I showed you. You need to cancel and do whatever, record the transaction. Okay, so yeah, so this is how you do it.